That's a foolish decision. Let's talk about Cassandra Marshall, social worker at Martin Luther King Upper Elementary. Nearly 60% of 12 to 18-year-olds say they face depression every day. 20% have contemplated suicide. And here we are cutting a social worker, cutting a case manager, someone that deals directly with children. Nobody in the central office, I'm going to name 10 kids in this school district. Yet these kids have come to us every day. And again, I've never stood up here in 24 years to defend my own job. I let my work speak for me. I'm up here defending the people that I work with. So let's all make that clear. Cassandra Marshall is a vital employee in this district. Let's talk about Brad Weaver and Amy DePaul, our media specialist. Literacy is the backbone of education. We have enough administrators to tell you that, whether it's math or language arts, literacy, literacy, literacy. We saw on our slide that they're putting money to update the media center. For what? You're getting rid of the 2 positions that are left. So don't play this game like we're here for the children, or we're taking away the vital stuff. We have plenty of central office administration that we can definitely tighten the belt on and save the money there. When we abolished Dr. Howard's position, now there's what, 3 athletic directors? Mr. Trevino's been athletic director, trained. Dr. Howard's been athletic director, and we have the new guy. Yet, I'm sure the new guy's on the reassignment list to be a hire next year. Let's think about this. Also on the list, I want to talk about Karen Conley. She's a guidance counselor here at Bradley. Not on air of business, but she has MS, and she's getting equal with help tonight because of lateness. Has anyone gone behind the building here? We have 2 handicap spots in front. There's one in the back, and it's been covered with a trailer since October 21st. I don't know why the city didn't take it and told that trailer. But she's getting equal with help. Someone shows up every day. I'm sorry, I didn't go over my time. I wish you'd give 5 minutes. I have plenty more to say. Thank you for your time, everybody.
My name is Delia Kendall. I live in Asbury Park, and I want to know who's the president. Am I to direct my questions or anything to you or the person in charge?
Oh, speak to the mic.
Sorry, okay. I just read this agenda, and it said this is not a question and answer period. Well, my thing is, I've come here because I have a granddaughter in this system who everybody in my household tried to fight against, but she's in this system. So if I have a problem with something going on, I can't come here and ask about my granddaughter. Where do I go?
Will be the chain of command.
I'm sorry?
The chain of command. So you
Okay, so I start where?
with the principal.
Okay. And just because almost every time I come here, these like withholding things and these terminations, just out of curiosity, because I heard somebody talk about people coming here for their jobs. Isn't it like the superintendent's recommendation that the board goes along with? Or did you personally like see these people and say, you know, this needs to be done? She did? I'm sorry. Right, I'm speaking to whoever decides to do it. The people, and I'm not talking about personnel, like I'm not trying to call anybody's name because I don't know anybody who's personally like on here for being terminated. I don't know. There's a number on here. I don't know that person. But if you did not see that this person needed to be terminated, did you take a recommendation from Dr. Adams? That's why it's on this agenda. That's why you're going to approve it. The question?
He makes the recommendations and the board has to approve or deny.
Right, okay. But the recommendation comes from Dr. Adams. Because me personally, I consider Dr. Adams the head of the ship. All of you people, you're basically going on Dr. some of the statements that were made about the cumulative money that Asbury Park is losing, and they are, but like I said, I have a granddaughter in the system. I have a granddaughter in another school system that's very close by. My thing is, both of my granddaughters, and they are going to be women,
Yes.
I want them to do
Sorry
it.
to cut you off, ma'am.
Oh, that's what it is too? Yeah, y'all gonna have to extend that. Okay. Wait, can I come back?
We have another public session afterwards, right? No, there's this one, okay.
Alicia Simmons, Asbury Park, president of, Westside. Alicia Simmons, Asbury Park, president of Westside Community Center, president of Mount Dawson County Aspiration Network, former once appointed, two-time elected board member. And I'm sitting here having, emotions and on the edge of tears because I've had this conversation in '96, I was a student here, right? In '98, the board was rated. And when I sat on the board, when I first was appointed almost 10 years ago, in this, our state monitor came at the same time, we had these conversations, we had these things. The thing is that this is a system that was done on purpose. I sat here in promotions listening to people who have played parts in the devolving of the Asbury Park School District. Mr. Adams, is that correct? It is not your fault, right? It is a system that people play parts in. When you sit up here and you put a fifth grade, you devolve a school that was working fine, like Thurgood Marshall, and you put the fifth graders into a middle school, which at the time was very violent, and people leave and take your kids out. When you take, and the community say, no, don't do it, right? Or when they put 7th and 8th graders in a high school, and the community says, no, don't do it. And when you sit up here and we come repeatedly, and the community say, please don't do it, and you don't listen. When we sit up here and we put out initiatives that can actually save, right? What will bring kids back, having something to come back to, right? Something innovative, right? Technology. The school looks the exact same way as 20 years ago when I went here, right? My son, when he graduated here. You can't sit here and have these conversations and say now, oh, let's take it to Trenton, because I was one of those people who picketed and went up to Trenton, right? I'm in Trenton on a regular basis. We need to take it to the municipal building. We need to take it right here. We have to be real about what's happening here, right? Because we're saying all these things, which people were arguing against it when I was saying it almost 10 years ago, that this is going to kill our district, right? When there's people out there throwing out people's votes and casting people aside when they sit up here and say it is time for us to be real about what's happening with our kids. We want real things for our district. We weren't heard. We were kicked out. When I said gentrification comes after the brown people first, right? Brown and black people first, and then it comes out of the wave, the first wave. Nobody heard that, right? When we send kids home with packets, right? And poor technology, when we had the money to actually give them something substantial, they're gonna leave, right? One of the mistakes that I sit up here and made is as my child suffered through this district, and he suffered but graduated, and with his associates, he graduated. When he suffered through this district, right, I shouldn't have let him suffer that much. And what we can sit up here and say is that y'all have responsibilities. Y'all have responsibilities, and this is a plan. And I'm gonna be loud because there's another time where I'm gonna come back, because this is hard for me to come up to these meetings. But the one person, when I put my little nieces in this district that came from severe trauma, the one person that helped, y'all are putting on an offering block. This is disrespectful. And I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna sit down, right, because I know my time is up. But again, don't act like this isn't a plan. Don't act like when the art system, when the art plan and has the high school on the front as a place to put the art center in, right? Come on now. Come on now.
Haitian community needs her. Everyone needs her because she is caring, helpful. And the Spanish community needs her too, and the Americans. She's good at her position. We need her to stay at her position because the Haitian community needs her. Because she's helping us through everything we need. Because everything my parents did, she's been there to have them with them. We always deserve to stay at her position. Because she's always let my parents know what's going on around her, going back to high school, around all the districts. So we want her to stay because we want her to take her position.
You're doing great, baby.
Hello guys, my name is Sheila again. I'm from 518 Soul Avenue. For the next 3 weeks, and then I'm going up to for those of you that don't know me, I sat in that position, the president of the board, right before this current president. And I know that the board's position on personnel, they don't have a lot of control. I'm here to talk about somebody that's not on the agenda, although she was told that she was going to be not removed as of April 21st, but she's not on tonight's agenda. Also, what you have to know about me is I run a school district, I run a small daycare, and I'm responsible for 10 to 15 children a year to the school district. I've been open 11 years, so if you do the math, I'm responsible for about 10% of the current school population. I'm here to talk on behalf of two people that are going to not be in their positions. Mary Lizzie Boston has worked diligently for me. You can just look on her social media for that. So to say that she's not performing in her job duties, right? You have to be blind. And this would be the second, third, fourth, fifth time that we don't listen to the community. Because although you can pencil whip somebody while you're supervising them, you can give them all kinds of bad scores. If you step out of the school and talk to anybody in the community, you know that she's doing her job, which she was doing without a supervisor for years, officially. Furthermore, I want to speak on behalf of Cassandra. Our families don't understand IEPs. They're very complicated. When you're a non-English speaker, and this is your first time in America, and somebody else is trying to translate for you something for you, they're not a social worker, or their primary language is not Creole. You don't understand what's going on with your small child that needs help. So to get rid of two pitiful people in the Haitian community, it feels like we're under attack. It feels like we're disrespected. We are an organization of the population. And if you want more people to leave the school district, continue to do what you do. Thank you so very much for your time. First off, it feels like court. I've never been to court. All things aside is that Ms. Kazir, she's an amazing and incredible person.
My dear, what is your name?
My name is Adsy. I used to be in the Asbury Park Middle School also. But I want to talk about because she has been very helpful to a lot of people in their families, and she not only helps the Haitian community in translating, but she helps a lot of people also. She feels like a second mother to most of us because everything that goes on around in the community that some parents might not know about, even though there's like flyers and like stuff going around, she always calls them and stuff like that. Like sometimes in the middle of the night, she would even like call my mom and be like, and ask my mom, "Are you aware of like this and that that's going on in the school and stuff like that?" And she's a very incredible person, and she feels like a second
second mother to me personally, like this for me. She feels like a second mother to me because she's just so nice and she's very helpful and everything that goes around. There's this thing called Asbury Park Talent, and I didn't even know I had some talent, and she told me that she wanted me to go in it, and I didn't even know, and I won first place 2 times. I won first place 2 times because of her, and the second time, and it took place this Saturday also, the second time that I went, and I wasn't even gonna go if she didn't tell me that that I had this and that I had to go and that she believed in me. She is an amazing person. She doesn't only help out the Haitian community, but she helps out other communities also, because she works with most of the kids, and my little baby brother, he's about to be 5, and he goes to his school, and he's in preschool, about to go to kindergarten, and there's something called like the special child study team or something like that, and she is the one that calls us every single time to keep us up to date in like the school things and stuff like that that's going on for him. A lot of people and a lot of parents don't let their kids go to the Asbury Park High School and stuff like that. But my mom, she wasn't even gonna let my baby brother go to school. She was like, she didn't really believe it or stuff like that. And Miss Lazier was like, oh, it's really a good school. You should really like let him try out and stuff like that. So that's what made her decided to bring him to the school. Another thing is that I'm like later on, I was sitting down, listening to you guys talk about like how blah 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 stuff like this and stuff like that. I personally feel like it's not fair to like some of like the teachers and like some of like the people from like the different communities and stuff like that has been like helping out for years, and even because of this or that reason that they have to go just because of that. Because teachers, they do have 2 lives as a teacher and as their own life also, and a lot of teachers they put up with like a lot of students like mess and stuff like that. And she has her own family and stuff like that, and she would take time out of her day to always make sure that everything is going to day and everything is going to plan. Like Shayla, her cousin said about going onto her social media, you would see like everything that's going around like in the community and the events and stuff like that. She would always have them posted in her social media. She would always have the pictures, the videos of blah blah blah, this and that. And she is just an amazing person. There's just so many words, and I would really hate it if she actually had to leave, because she not only translates for us, she helps other people also, and it just wouldn't really, it wouldn't make sense to me, and it really wouldn't be fair, because she has helped a lot of people, and just letting her go after like all the years and the stuff she has done, and all the work she has worked with like the kids and the people is really not fair, and I feel like it's just disgusting and disrespectful, because she loves to help people and she loves her job. And just telling her, oh, goodbye, just because of this reason, blah, 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 is really not fair, because she translates for people, she asks people if they need help. Like sometimes, I'm sorry, time is over, we're working. Sometimes this and that might not be going to plan, but she's always calling you and be like, yo, do you know about this event, blah, 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 blah. If you don't have time, I'm going to make sure you go to this, I'm going to make sure you go to this. So it's not fair and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Hello, hi, my name is Soledad. I am here to discuss something that clearly was not on the agenda, I'm not sure why it was not.
We can't hear you.
I'm sorry?
You
You can't hear me?
Yeah.
Right now, okay, hi, yes, I'm here to talk about something that was not on the agenda, not sure why it wasn't. But, just a fun fact, Asbury Park has the 6th largest Haitian community in the state. And this is by number, not percentage. So please keep in mind that we are smaller than the other, a lot smaller, I should say, than the other 5 cities before us. The Asbury Park student body is about 30% Haitian and about 40% Hispanic. As a Haitian woman that went through Asbury Park schools, from pre-K all the way through 12th grade, I know the struggles all too well when immigrant parents, like my beautiful mom back there, have difficulty with understanding the U.S. school system. I understand the importance of having someone who empathizes with you being in a position to assist you. I have witnessed with my own 2 eyeballs Ms. Lazier sacrificed her weekends that I'm sure she was not paid for to attend events recruit for pre-K, and go out of her way after work to my daughter's daycare to speak with the Hispanic and Latino parents who I brought them here today, to recruit them for pre-K and pretty much assist them all across the board. I have seen her posts on social media. I have listened to her radio interviews, and I do not understand how communities that make up about 70% of the student body is being left without representation. It makes no sense to me. The work that is needed to be done to help the Haitian and Hispanic students do not end in the schools. It must involve the entire community. It's not something that, okay, just go talk to such and such down in office, wherever. It must involve the community, like a community specialist. And I absolutely can say Ms. Lazare has done an absolute phenomenal job. As a Haitian woman, Hispanic, and Hispanic parent standing beside me concurs and agrees. I absolutely will restate what Ms. Etienne stated. I absolutely feel like we are under attack. I don't know what this is about, but it needs to stop. Because it's absolutely disgusting and reflects very poorly on Asbury Park. Thank you.
I just want to mention, I know I've been working at daycare, small daycare, there's, Asian community, Black community, and Mexican community. I just want to, let you guys know that Ms. Lazare is going to the daycare to kind of help us out to get pre-K and all of that involved. And firstly, she'll be going into the daycare early in the morning to be to post any registrations that they have, and she be keeping in contact with Ms. Evelyn. Ms. Evelyn is in charge of the parent enrollment in our daycare, and she goes back and forth to help, the Spanish speakers. So, I know that this is probably a decision that's been made, but I don't think it's fair. I think she's been doing a great job. I've been seeing a lot of posts, pictures, and I've been seeing her trying to get involved in the community. She recently, last year, she was in our graduation to kind of get more parents. I guess I'm here to support her and to guys let you know that she's been doing a great job, and I've been part of that job, and she's been trying to keep in contact with us, to keep her job going. And I didn't even know that it was like I got talent thing going on until I saw her posting all those things. But I hope you guys make a good decision. I just want to know that I'm thankful for her, that she's really helping our community. But thank you, Ms. Mary.
Good evening. I am Angel Camus, bilingual ESL teacher in Asbury Park over 40 years, and I'm here to translate to this mother that has concern about a position that is being eliminated.
Mi nombre es Marali Morales. Tengo un hijo en la high school y uno en la middle school.
She has a child in the high school and one in the middle school.
Estamos aquí para apoyar a Ms. Mary, para que no pierda su trabajo, ya que hace poco tiempo se me ha quemado mi casa y desde ese tiempo para acá ella me ha ayudado bastante. Sé que es un poco difícil, siempre ha estado ahí, me ha estado ayudando para transportar a mis hijos, siempre se está comunicando si todo está bien o cosas así, y es una gran ayuda para los haitianos y la comunidad hispana. Y muchas gracias, Mary, por todo lo que ha hecho por nosotros.
Marilyn this year has been a fantastic, awesome help to the Hispanic and Haitian community. She has been in a she still is in a very bad situation with the house burned. And she has been a tremendous help being there for her in whatever necessity she needs for her or the children. She doesn't want to see this loss in the district because of how helpful she is and she has been through the years to the community. One of the child is standing right over here. And And actually, I have known her for many years, and I have nothing to say but good things about her, for what she has done for the community and for the children that we care about. And that's what we're here for our children. We bring it up, but then we have this kind of cuts. And I understand some of the cuts from the state and so on, but I think there are ways to work it out. And I'm only speaking for what she spoke to me before. And I know she has a little bit of nervousness to take the mic and speak. So I'm recalling some of the information that she has shared, and I'm writing it down on a piece of paper. Thank you for listening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Margaret Thompson. I live at 302 Third Avenue, in Park, New Jersey. Nice to serve the board with Felicia. And I'm here on this one. This is Cassandra Marshall, one of my favorites. And I want to bring two students up here that she held for the years. The reason why I'm bringing these two students up because I want you to put a face to the students that she held. My son Marvin, and Lisa. I want you to consider her job. She's the good help in this district. When my mom passed away last year, she was there for me and my son. She came to the funeral, and I get emotional because this is going to be a great loss to this district if you let her go. And to see these two young men here, and Dr. Adams, do you know their names? This is Amari. And this is Rosita. And you said that you wanted parents to go to youth training? All of us. You need to build a rapport with the parents in this district. Because there's no rapport with the parents. It needs to start with you, Dr. Adams. You're the head. And this district runs like the hospital. Who runs the hospital? The nurses, right? The teachers run the district. While you sit up here on 4th Avenue in your office, the teachers, social workers, principals run this district. And I refuse to sit up here and let you make a mistake that will hinder some of these kids. Do you know suicide starts at 10? Do you research? Suicide starts at 10. 12 is going to be 13 soon. They need someone to talk to. If Ms. Marshall's not there for them to talk to, who are they going to go to? If the principal is busy, who are they going to go to? So I need you to reconsider her position. I'm begging you. I stood up here last week. I'm begging you. And it's all you said about jobs. You hear me tired of talking about people talking about jobs and jobs and jobs. That's the issue. Because they're letting people go who help this community a great deal, who's been in this district for 20 years. So here's another job. Well, it's disrespectful to rip someone twice. You need to reconsider. You really do. Because September, it's not going to look good for this district. And then you say kids are going to charter school? Kids are going to charter school because they have no faith in this district anymore. That's why kids are going to charter school.
Bonsoir.
Good evening, I'm Juliette. Yes, I'm speaking with social transfer.
Mwen se pale spesyalman konsernan mouskize nan komunite a koman jede nou tout nan komunite a konsernan a iske men lokasyon sa nou.
She wants to speak specifically on behalf of Ms. Spear and how she engages the community, helps the community. Not just the Haitian people, but the Spanish people too.
Li toujou la preve, pou ede nou ete akonman l'hopital nou ki nou, pou ete akonman
She helps a lot with making appointments for hospitals and visits with their children. She always calls and makes sure that they know about community activities so that she can keep the community engaged. She said because of Ms. Lazier, she has been able to participate in PTO and other parent programs. She has 3 children total. She had 2 in the Asbury Park district and she removed them. There's a lot of reasons of that. Her 3rd child is in the school district because Ms. Lazier has offered it to put her in the school district. He is a special needs child. She has helped her looking for housing and has introduced her to the Beasley Habitat for Coastal Habitat. She has 2 sons, 1 daughter. Her daughter just spoke. She's like a second mother for her because she keeps her daughter engaged and out of trouble. The only advice she has for you is that if you let Ms. Lazier go, there's a potential of losing a lot of students because Ms. Lazier herself keeps them in this. Her suggestion is that you keep Ms. Lazier please with them.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Cynthia Foster, resident of Asbury Park, and happy Teachers Appreciation Week. All you colors and So I came up tonight to speak to how do we get our students back into this district. I've heard you guys compare Asbury Park School District to the charter schools about how we do not have the marketing that they have, or what, 1.33 billion or whatever the figure was that was thrown out. But Asbury Park is 1 square mile. 1 square mile. Word of mouth is the only type of marketing you need in this community to bring your students back to the school. However, the word of mouth that is perceived of Asbury Park School District right now is that it is not the place to send your kids. I have taken my child out of this school district twice now. The first time, I took her out and I sent her to a charter school. Brought her back because I was under the impression that things were changed, things were better, and that she would be receiving the services that she needed, as well as the supports that were promised to her upon bringing her back to the school. I then had to take her out of the school district again when I found out that you did not have the resources that you told me that you did have to provide my child. And then with the situation ongoing with my daughter, there has been instances where I've been lied to. There has been instances where administration has promised me that they will handle it personally. Yet I have not heard anything from them in 2 months. The lack of documentation and communication. So all of those things combined will make a parent not give a referral to a parent like, oh my God, Asbury Park is the place where you should bring your child. If anything, if you have close relatives or close friends, you will shy them away from coming to this district if you know that their child needs certain services because we do not have them here. Like I said before, I was born and raised in Asbury Park, and I spent most of my academic years here. This was not the Asbury Park that I remember. The students and the teachers had a rapport, and then not only that, we had a rapport, the students, the teachers, administration all had a rapport with the community. There hasn't been any type of collaboration that I know of between the school district and the community, as well as all of the local organizations that we have are kind of shunned away as if the administration that we have here now wants to be, I guess, the hero or the one who wears the cape, the one who does it all for the students to make it become a success. When we all know that it takes a village to raise these children. It takes a village for them to be successful, and you don't need marketing. You just need word of mouth. And in order to get word of mouth, there's a lot that you need to pull together in this district.
Hello, my name is Alexis. I am going to middle school. I want to say I do not want to Zilla to get lost her job because she's been helping me out a lot, helping the Hispanic people a lot. And one time my tooth was hurting a lot, and she had me a dentist appointment and helped my mom and family members be okay when I got verified. And she bought things for us. She was taking money off her pocket, and she brought a lot of things to us, and I'm so happy and so with us there. So I want to thank God, and that's all I have to say.
Good evening, Madam President. My name is Stephanie Kelly. I'm a resident of Brick Township. I've been a special education teacher for 20 years here in Asbury Park. I'm also the APEA grievance chair. I'm here this evening to remind the Board of Education and the community of how much time and money has been spent on unnecessary grievances. In the past 18 months, the APEA has filed and settled well over 40 grievances. The violations of our district policies and our APEA contract continues. Our staff is targeted and retaliated against through the use of invalid letters of reprimand, accusations of insubordination, accusations of tone of decency, accusations of conduct unbecoming, and downright illegal increment withholdings based on faulty evaluations. Have correct evaluations procedures been followed? We know our staff hasn't been properly trained in their board-approved evaluation rubric because the administrators who were supposed to train them were using both the 2013 and 2023 Danielson rubric, and those two rubrics are completely different. Some people on that list have never been evaluated using this rubric at all. How can you withhold increments when your administration isn't following basic procedures mandated by law to evaluate staff? Board of Education, I ask you, before you agree to withhold the increments of your staff, let us wait until all staff, including administration, are properly trained to evaluate staff, and staff are aware of the rubrics that will hold them accountable. I'm asking you this evening to hold off the approving of withholding of increments tonight. Please, think about it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dorothy Ellison. I'm a school psychologist.
We can hear you, baby.
My name is Dot Ellison. I'm a school psychologist. I'm a Title 17 here at Asbury Park School District. My job is not on the line tonight. It might be tomorrow. I wasn't going to speak tonight. I came to support people that I've worked with for the last 17 years. people who have been dedicated to our children. Our children here on time. Every single year, I have gone to a funeral for one of my students, and I have sat next to Miss Marshall, I have sat next to Miss Sanders. Our children are dying. They come here hungry, hurting, abused, witnessing domestic violence, witnessing being the victims of violence, traumatized, and to get rid of a social worker when mental health is such an issue, and our kids need every support they can have to just stay alive. Algebra 2 doesn't matter when you've been up all night hungry and worried if your mother is going to be alive or not.
That's right. That's
Both
right.
of these things are the things who support those families. I've sat at tables with Miss Marshall and agonized over how to help a kid with our very limited resources in this district. And she's been the one to come up with creative ways of helping their special needs. She works with our kids, not just Asian kids, kids of all nationalities, of all ethnic backgrounds. And she's been dedicated and followed them to the high school where I sit and been a resource for them. I've gone to Miss Sanders with children who are living in a car, whose parents are incarcerated. And we've gotten them food, and we've gotten them showers, and we've gotten them shelter. She's the one who knows every resource in the community. To eliminate her position is criminal. Our children look for her. Most people don't even know what she does in the building, but our kids do. And those are the people we need supporting these kids. If we don't want to lose them to another district or lose them to another death, you need these people. You need these people to provide the support, the counseling, and the foundation that they provide every single day. You may think their positions are not necessary because they don't fit nicely into a budget, but they're saving lives.
Good evening, Madam Secretary. My name is Danielle Petrucci. I'm a resident of Middletown, and I'm a learning disability teacher consultant on the Child Study Team in Asbury Park Schools. I am also the APA Executive Secretary. So here we are again, 18 days later, and again the agenda includes the elimination of critical positions we need in order to operate the district and support our children. A director of student services, a security manager, special education and instructional coaches, health and safety services coordinators, library media specialists, teachers, happy teacher appreciation, security guards and custodians. And yet again, hidden just below the list of risks on the agenda includes the termination due to reduction in force of our bilingual Haitian Creole speaking social worker, Ms. Cassandra Marshall. Please refer to item 2A, where her employee ID number is listed. Just to remind everyone, this employee has a name. It's Cassandra Marshall. She's a social worker, our only Haitian Creole speaking child study team member, a child study team case manager, a counselor, the only social worker who's here in the summer, a crisis response team member, an INRS team member, a member of the suicide response team, an Asbury Park native, and an employee of Asbury Park Schools for over 20 years. She has been the person that parents trust and rely on for their well-being and academic support through the years. She has been the shoulder to cry on and the hand to hold when our parents have been told, your child has a disability. She is often the sole resource when families request guidance, especially our Haitian families. Her removal from this district is not in the best interest of our students. It's not just about a job. As a child study team member, I can tell you firsthand how overwhelmed we are right now because we are short-staffed. I, along with my other colleagues and the APA executive team, have pleaded with administration and stressed the impact of cutting these positions this last year. We lost 2 psychologists due to retirement and resignation. Those 2 in the last 2 years, and they have not been replaced. But 3 supervisors have resigned in the last year, and they were all replaced. And 2 new directors were also added in the last year. The needs of our students don't go away because we don't have enough support on our team. They don't go away when we add more administrative positions. The caseloads, evaluation, student needs have increased to an overwhelming level for the remaining child study team members. The loss of Ms. Marshall would be catastrophic to this child study team, and directly impact the support of our students. The number of children coming into the district through early intervention continues to increase, and we are still addressing the learning loss and emotional health concerns due to the pandemic. This increase was evident last year, and we warned you all of this issue. We need to support our children's mental health, and social workers are at the front lines. Currently, we have students on a wait list to receive in-school counseling through YMCA because there's not enough staff, and the elimination of another counselor will further limit the accessibility of mental health supports. I beg you to please reconsider the decision to terminate Ms. Marshall from our child study teams. I urge you to consider the impact of what Ms. Marshall's presence in this district means to our students. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Steve Marsicota. I'm from New Jersey. I've been a teacher at Asbury Park High School. I've been there since 2005. I'm here talking about my concern about the abolishment of our social worker and our social workers and any social emotional staff in our district. As Mr. Hamilton said, we're living in a time right now post-pandemic when mental health is an issue for everyone. It's nationwide. It's not just Asbury. Although Asbury Park is a trauma-filled community, and getting rid of social emotional support staff and programs is detrimental to the education of our students. We cannot teach algebra, English, until our students have their social emotional needs met. And they need food, and the social workers are the bridge between the teachers and the community. Ms. Sanders and I, she's a pillar of our Asbury Park community, Asbury Park family. We became friends because as a teacher, students come to me and they talk to me, and I can always go to Ms. Sanders. She is the bridge between our students and the community. The social workers save the lives of our students, and getting rid of them would be actually getting rid of our students. We live in a place where we have, Ms. Sanders, I know, as a social worker in our school, she coordinates the health crisis response team. She does social suicide prevention, intervention. She also facilitates programs such as pregnancy prevention, grief counseling. She started Challenge Day in our school years ago, and so many other programs that have been a positive impact on our students and have actually created leaders in our community right now, because she's been in our district for 22 years. Getting rid of her is going to be detrimental to our community, and we need to utilize our sources, and we cannot steal programs in order to save money, because it's about our students' health, it's about our students' mental health, and it's about promoting success in our district. And the only way to combat generational poverty or trauma is to support and keep our social, emotional staff and the programs that feed our students and help them thrive in this community. I love Asbury Park. I've been here for years. Ms. Sanders, Ms. Marshall, everyone who's on the chopping block, who's been here, we are Asbury Park. We are the community, and we love our students. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Ellie Victor. I'm a resident of Union County and a speech-language pathologist on the Related Services team. I'm here to urge you to save Cassandra Marshall's position as social worker. Cassandra has dedicated 21 years to students and families of Asbury Park and has done so with a passion that is admirable. I can speak loud. Last week, we celebrated teachers for Teacher Appreciation. I couldn't help but feel sick because we say thank you to our staff, but we discard them at a rate that is insurmountable and detrimental to the success of our students. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. In a time where students are experiencing trauma and mental health crises, we cannot afford to lose another counselor in Mrs. Marshall. According to the CDC, more than 4 in 10 students in the U.S. felt persistently sad or hopeless. Nearly 1/3 experienced poor mental health, and more than 10% of students seriously considered suicide. According to NewJersey.gov, a 2021 report from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration revealed that common diagnoses for children aged 3 to 17 include ADHD, behavioral conduct problems, anxiety, and depression. They also state that schools are in a distinct position to A, recognize early signs of mental, behavioral, and developmental disorders, B, provide social emotional support services, and C, foster the skills necessary to address challenges during the adolescent years. And in doing so, schools can contribute to the overall emotional, social, and academic success of each student, end quote. Ironically, May is also Haitian Heritage Month.
Yes.
The elimination of multilingual staff, specifically our only Haitian Creole-speaking social worker, limits opportunities to appropriately assess or intervene with our non-English speaking students and their families. Since the return of full-time in-person instruction, we have seen an increase in working with students with grief, anxiety, depression, attention, and inappropriate behaviors. Social workers like Ms. Marshall are the first individuals in the buildings that teachers and administration reach out to in order to deal with crisis situations or chronic social and behavioral issues. She understands the cultural nuances and family dynamics that affect the way Haitian students experience trauma. There's a level of cultural competence that needs to be maintained in order to appropriately assist these families whose cultural dynamics have an impact on the students' development and or experiences. These Haitian students and families have made connections and are comfortable with Ms. Marshall, who is charged with counseling and managing their children's caseloads. We often talk about accountability and the betterment of our students of Asbury Park. Yet sometimes our actions go against our words. It's the actions that are important. There's a Haitian proverb and it says, "Sao fait c'est nous." What you do is what you see. In other words, what we see in life is a result of our own actions. It's almost like saying what you reap is what you sow. So I'm asking you tonight to put your words of accountability and betterment to action and your actions to power. Vote to keep our essential staff members, and please vote no on item 2A of B1. Our students and their families deserve better. And I just want to make a quick comment we are here for our students. We fight for our students. I stood here last year and I begged and I pleaded with this board and I explained to them the backlog of students that are going to need services, and we still got rid of speech therapists. So to be told that we're only here fighting for a job, no. We're here fighting for our students. And I resent the statement that we don't.
Good evening, Madam President and everyone. My name is Marjorie Moore, and I'm a paraprofessional here in the Asbury Park School District at Thurgood Marshall, and a former graduate of Asbury Park High School in 1982. I began my employment with the district on February the 13th, 2023, as a rehab. I was extremely excited to begin working in this role as I had previously worked as a paraprofessional here in the Asbury Park School District for 16 years before my position was eliminated with reduction in force back in 2017. I've been working in the profession of providing care for children for over 21 years. Prior to becoming a paraprofessional, I owned a child care business for 10 years. This profession is my life. I have always had a heart to serve in the capacity of caring for children. To that end, I was extremely devastated when I received a letter dated April the 5th, 2023, that I was terminated from my position as a paraprofessional signed by Dr. Rashawn Adams. I was completely in shock because I couldn't understand why I was being terminated from my role. Additionally, the letter did not provide any cause for termination. During the days of me working, I had no work performance issues brought to my attention while I was there. I continued to ponder on what could have occurred, but I couldn't think of any situation or incident that could have led to my dismissal. On April the 17th, I went to the Board of Education to meet with Human Resources to ask them what was happening, and why I was being terminated. I spoke to Dr. LaShawna Gibson, the Director of Human Resources. Unfortunately, she was abrupt and informed me and let me know that it was due to my work performance. I asked if she could provide me with further information to include details regarding the work performance that led to my dismissal. So please know that I understand that employment is at will, and that New Jersey is an at-will state, which means either party can terminate the work relationship at any time. However, after speaking with my counsel, I was informed that since Dr. Gibson stated that this was in regards to my work performance, that she opened the door for me to inquire further. I would like to know what actually occurred that led to my termination. I can only assume at this point that my termination had something to do with my workman comp case that was filed on February 24th, 2023, which I was on the playground with the children and fell down and hurt my left knee. I've been in physical therapy since then. I'm requesting that the board discuss matters pertaining to my employment. And lastly, I'd like to note that I have not even taken any days off after fall. I was at work every single day. I would be extremely appreciative if the board would reconsider my termination of employment. Thank you.
Sheldon Sanders, and I am the Health and Social Service Coordinator at Asbury Park High School. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I have been the Health and Social Services Coordinator at Asbury Park High School for the last 23 years, where I've given my all to the students and families of Asbury Park, providing counseling, support, and referrals. I've assisted students experiencing homelessness, the effects of trauma, gender identity issues, and abuse, among other issues. In response to the needs of our students, I have implemented a teen parenting program, a peer mediation program, and a student mentoring program. I've cultivated collaborative relationships with the Central Jersey Family Health Consortium, the Community YMCA, Wellspring Center for Prevention, Empower Somerset, the Center for Great Expectations, and the Mental Health Association of Monmouth County to bring needed services and programs to our students. I've helped develop policies and procedures for Section 504, INRS, pregnant and parenting students, and crisis response. I am the one that Dr. Howard Morris calls at night or on the weekends when there is a traumatic event that impacts our staff and students, so that I can coordinate not only the high school team where I am located, but so I can also assist with mobilization and coordination of the teams in the other buildings, so that I can provide support to those teams. I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but there was a 4 or 5 year period where we lost a student every single year. And I, along with my fellow crisis response team members, was on the front line for days, assisting students and staff to manage their feelings regarding those traumatic events. Currently, I'm coordinating 4 youth development / SEL programs at the high school and 1 at the upper elementary school, where I am not housed, but I became aware of a program that would help those students and reach out to Miss Cassandra Marshall to say to her, I'm aware of a program. Do you think that your girls could benefit from it? We sat in on that program last week with approximately 12 young ladies in grades 4 through 6, and it was astounding how at the first session they opened up and they shared, and it was obvious that that program was so needed for those students. I provided support to students and families in their homes, at the grocery store, at the mall, and the laundromat. I have so often assisted families outside the school that my own child sometimes felt slighted. I provide suicide risk assessments for our students, and on more than one occasion, I have sat in crisis with a student and their parent as they went through the process of being evaluated. As other people have said before you, we are in a mental health crisis right now. And letting go of people who can provide emotional and mental health support to our students is not the right way to go. Thank you.
I'm Liz Homer. I live in West Long Branch, and I am a paraprofessional here at Bradley Elementary. I'm here to talk about security. At a time where we should be adding security staff, we are now cutting. Why are we not taking into consideration the lives of our students and staff? Please don't think a mass shooting can't happen here. Do you think that the parents, teachers, and students in Uvalde, Texas, or Nashville, Tennessee thought it would happen in their school? In an America where we have 200 mass shootings and 2 school shootings since January, we are all vulnerable. It absolutely boggles my mind that it's even a consideration to get rid of any security instead of hiring more. What is most important to you? The lives of the students and staff are most important to me. My life is important to me. I am not ignorant to the fact that there are people who could easily get into our schools and cause harm to us. Let's make the right choice for our district, for our students, for our staff, for our lives. Don't cut essential workers while risking the lives of everyone else.
Hi, my name is Travis Sandler. I'm part of this community. I left my event because it was so important to get here. Asbury Park would always be my first love. Mr. Jordan is the reason why I'm the woman I am today, why my children are the people who are today. I think we should keep Mr. Jordan because he changed my life. Being in Asbury Park School, talking to me, let me know that I'm loved, let me know that sky's the limit, you can do whatever you want to do. He's not just a security guard, but he's someone you can talk to, because you have to realize some of the kids don't want to go home, are not happy at home, but coming to school make it easy with these lovely teachers, as I see right here today that care. When I went to school in the 80s, and I want to make Asbury Park great again. And we need you guys to understand what these people are saying here, what Mr. Jordan has done for me. Right now, my son works for the feds right now. I would never believe that in a million years, but with this man directing me and telling me how to be an upstanding citizen, I told my children that. The point is, Asbury is the people that care and that love the community and love being who they are as teachers here. Now, we can either let teachers go that care and bring people in here that don't care about it, and then it get worse.
Yes.
I left my event to get here because it was important, so you can see that it is people in the community that do care. My daughter works in the medical field. My 15-year-old daughter plays basketball. I want to come talk to you guys like I did in Neptune and get a basketball program started for these girls and these boys so they can stay off the street and realize they got people like me and Mr. Jordan that care. I just want you to see these teachers here. I listen to them. I see how it was like in the 80s, how they cared about us. And how they tell us that, you know, we're someone special. That is so important. Some of y'all get to go on in your big house, but some of us don't. You know? A lot of kids don't want to tell about what's going on in their personal life at home. But you know, I look around and I see these teachers here. This reminds me so much of the 80s. This lady right here, my daughter went to college. My firstborn went to college. And she came to my house every day to teach my daughter, to show her, because it was overwhelmed. Now I never made it to college. But I promised my mother that my children will. And this lady came over every day to my house. I didn't know, but my daughter, she's amazing right now. Let's make Asbury Park great again. Let's get these students back staying in school and off the streets. Let's figure out a plan. If you don't have the budget, then let's figure out how we can raise the money like we used to do in the 80s. Right? 70s? Well, I'm the 80s. I'm, the 80s. You know? Listen, so I understand the budget, and everybody keeps talking about the budget, but back then we figure out how we can fix the budget, how we can raise, how we can make stuff, and we can get the community back together like it was. I'm already doing it for Neptune right now. I came to a basketball game to see how the girls play, to see how I can figure out how I can help them out.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm sorry. 3 minutes are up.
Oh, God. All right, that's fine. But you guys really see me, because I got plans for Asbury, just like I got plans for Neptune. We're gonna make Asbury and Neptune great again. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Meg Watkins. I am a special education teacher here in the district. And I've been in the district for just about 20 years now. I have had the wonderful opportunity to work with many administrators and co-workers. I have seen them come and I've seen them go. I'd like to address several issues. I don't want to reiterate a lot of things, but I just want to go over them. As for the issue of loss of students to charter schools, I absolutely agree. I am astounded at how many we have lost over the years. And it moves me because we have the highly qualified staff and personnel here that can meet the needs of our students. But I see some lack of initiatives by our district to actively pursue, to bring them back, to go out and ask why. Why are we leaving? What is it that we can do to make you want to be back here? Just as we've lost our students, we've also lost dedicated, caring, concerned educators. We have lacked adequate materials to teach the children. We have changed our curriculum in 20 years. I can't even tell you how many times. And we never give it a chance to see what the final outcome would be. How are they going to, what can we see in 5 years? What success rate are we going to see with that one program? And I have yet to see one yet go through, to follow through for at least 5 years. I think if we did that, I don't think we would see the struggles that we do. I don't think they would be as great. I also have a concern about losing our highly trained, credentialed security, Louis Jordan. I've had the pleasure personally to work with him. He has personally had me go on the website for the government to do training, to be certified for crisis management. And he has, since I've arrived, he has implemented many emergency services that we have now, addressing issues, safety concerns, have trained our personnel, and make sure that they are following through, the security officer doing their jobs to make us, not just teachers, not just administrators, but our students feel safe. Not only we're losing the head of security, but we have student services and staff being cut. Staff, that is very, very important. I know they've said about the statistics about depression and the loss of life. I have been in every single school. We need to come together as a team. We need to sit down together, administrators and teachers and educators, and look at who we have, who is here, and address the concerns and work together to build the community that we want. We need to, instead of going on losses, we need to make it a big win. I ask you to consider that.
Good evening. My name is Michael Zajac. I am the Dean of Students at Asbury Park High School. I'm also the Asbury Park Education Association Vice President. I have a statement to make here. Good evening, Madam President and members of the board. I'm here tonight to bring light to an issue that has been disturbing to the staff and students of the Asbury Park High School. The issue revolves around the current athletic director and his behaviors towards the staff and students. Back in February, there were a series of issues between students and the athletic director. One issue involved comments made towards a student about her family's financial status and living conditions. The athletic director flashed a money roll and told the student he had more money than her family. The issue was reported by the student, her parent, and staff. Was this investigated? Were staff members questioned? Asked to give a statement? Nope, nothing happened. There were no interviews, questions, or statements made. Another issue occurred when the athletic director and a student had a heated verbal exchange, and the athletic director expressed to the young man he should have his father come in and perform oral sex on him if he even has a father. While all this is extremely disturbing, the biggest disappointment is the lack of investigation in each of these incidents. There were emails sent to offer details of these situations because the staff members who witnessed these exchanges were doing their professional obligation to protect the students. And what happened? Nothing. No reprimand, no investigation, nothing. What are we teaching here? The message is crystal clear. If you're a Dr. Adams crony, not only can you speak to the students and staff in any manner, you have no worries because you will throw a blind eye to it. And if you don't believe me, ask Dr. Adams to show you his responses and emails pertaining to this matter. You won't find any because they don't exist. The irony is Dr. Adams responds to most emails within minutes. To further prove this point, staff members have received letters of reprimand, low observation scores, and a host of other antagonistic behaviors in connection with this athletic director. Thank you.
Good evening. John Napolitano, Ocean Township. I'm also the Asbury Park Education Association president. In the movie The Perfect Storm, which is based on a true story, they all died on the boat for one reason only. The captain made poor decisions. I want to thank my team for getting up here tonight, for having the guts to get up here in front of this board and speak. I got my Vice President, Mike Zajac, Secretary Danielle Petrucci, Sean Hamilton, our treasurer, and of course our grievance chair, Stephanie Kelly. It saddens me to continue to be up here, but some corrections that I need to make as in regard to what was said earlier. Yes, Ms. Alsbay, I agree with you. We should be up here fighting for our kids, and that's what we do, and that's what this staff did tonight. They're fighting for those services for these kids. Number two, this board did not fight the S2 decision. There were very few of you left up there. You didn't fight when you had the opportunity. The other thing is, you haven't met with the mayor in close to a year. And I just got that from Mayor Moore. I challenge every board member up here to give Moore a call. Call him a liar. We all know John pretty well. John doesn't lie. So I just got a bill from an arbitrator in the amount of $3,800 they can split between you and me for an arbitration that we didn't even finish because we settled the case. You're passing along $7 million additional dollars to the residents in the city of Asbury Park. We've had over 40 grievances. How much more money in legal have you spent in the last 2 years compared to 5 years ago? Check the legal bills out. And in my other role over in Ocean Township, and everybody knows what it is, I'm up there just like you on the days. My labor attorney said to me the other day, I'm not spending a lot of money on legal right now. What's going on? You want to know what's going on? I have department heads right now that have strong labor management relations. I have a chief of police that gets along with his PBA president and his state delegate. They sat at a dinner table at my mayor's charity ball this past weekend. I have a township manager that collaborates with his department heads, who wants his department heads and his employees, the rank and file, to work together harmoniously. That's how you get results. That's what makes a district successful, and that's what will make this district come back. It's collaboration. You want the fix? Create the labor management relations the way that it used to be. Thank you.
And I am the school counselor at Bradford.
here tonight, and I feel that I really should not have to disclose my medical information to the general public. I have MS. It is difficult for me to walk, especially when it is cold and when it is icy. And are you aware that there was, and still is, a trailer sitting outside there for 6 months covering handicapped spots? That violates so many federal laws, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and the ADA laws of 1990. All right here, there are letters in my file with HR that you requested and I provided, and still you are trying to cap my salary and just really make my life miserable. That is not okay. So I ask you to please really think about that. I put my heart into what I do and I love these children. And it's not okay, and it's not right, and it's federally wrong. Thank you for your support.
I guess at this time, I'll close public participation.
Now that we've closed, we're going to exec. But I want to make it clear, if I didn't attack anyone's integrity as an educator, and it's not fair to pick and choose words to entice a crowd. I merely stated what I've noticed the year, 5 months that I've been on the board. Is that every time I'm here, I'm hearing about, the issues with personnel. And everyone talks about collaboration and alliances, but not once have I heard someone, unless it was directed to their position, come up and speak until tonight about things that mattered and really, affected the student body. So I'm sorry if you don't comprehend that, but it is the truth. I'm not saying that your jobs aren't important. I'm not saying they're not worth fighting for. But without students, you have no job.
And without staff.
Well, there is no staff without students.
Right.
So we need the proper programming. How do we align with people about programming if we don't know what the problem is? That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to go?
The board is going to retire to close executive session to discuss matters of attorney-client information as well as personnel and ongoing litigation. It's anticipated that the board will be in executive session for approximately 45 minutes to an hour, after which time the board will come out of executive session and return to this room. No formal action will be taken in executive session. Any formal action will be taken out here in public when the board returns.